Red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, green light, red light.
Folks, I'm apologetic on my part. Of course, you're just tuning in and you're thinking, where's the tie? Where's the waistcoat? Where's all of the glitz Nova and all that other glorious jargon? But sadly, we're having to put that behind us now because we have somebody here who is also quite criminally gorgeous. I think that Mr. Gallagher would say himself, but obviously he is Ray Calix. Welcome to the Soul Sessions.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, Ray, it's my absolute pleasure, mate. But, we have I may not have the suit, may not have the style, but I do have a routine. As I say, every guest has a story, and every story has a beginning. Ray, how did your story begin as a wrestling fan?
This is actually, it's like quite a wild story. So just randomly, as a child, I think everyone starts as a child, that I just went over to my friend's house one day, and our brothers were playing one of the SmackDown versus Raws. And I was like, oh, what's this? What is this game that they're playing? So we joined in and played, and I'm sure we did like fatal 4-ways because there's 4 of us and like tag team matches. And I was like, this is so much fun. What is this? I need this. So begged my gran. My gran went and bought me whatever ones were out from whatever charity shops were available. And I started playing there. But I didn't actually realize though, at the time, that it was real life. I just thought it was a video game because it was like, obviously, me playing it. I just thought it was one of these things like Mario and all this. It was just one of these games made up until I went on YouTube and tried to look up for gameplay footage and then seen all the characters I was playing as in real life. And I was like, wait just now. Like, my mind is blown. Like, this is actually real life. Which then led to me obviously begging my mum for Sky Sports and all this, and then finally getting into watching it fully.
Awakened. You were awakened, my good son, to the real life. Reality hit you like a freight train, and you understand, hey, it is in person. I can see it in person. Sadly, nowadays, you probably have to spend a good few grand to actually get decent seats because that's the world we live in. Cost of living crisis, and everybody wants to make money. But digressing on that point, of course. The connection wrestling has with people can go on many levels, from characters to performers in the ring, their style, whether it's technical or a high flyer. For yourself, Ray, what was it about wrestling in itself that drew you when you saw it in person and saw it was reality? Was it characters? Was it in-ring work? What connected to you?
It was kind of like the storylines. Like, I am a big sucker for a good storyline. I love a payoff, even if it's not the one you're wanting. I just like something that's like going to like engross you and like want you to keep watching. So I like loved all the storylines that were happening. Obviously, characters stand out. Like, certain characters grab your attention. You want to see them, see what they're doing, and like then just adding all the physicality and all the movement and stuff. I was like, wow, like this is it. To me, like growing up, I was a theater kid. I was like, this is generally just like theater, but with a lot more like action packed, like superhero, like Power Rangers, everything that I was into like as a child. Just like all of this merged into like this one aspect of like some sort of entertainment, and I was like, this is great. This is for me.
I see. Hey, good call there. And obviously you mentioned theatre, the arts. I mean, obviously besides the big Oasis concert here, the Fringe just happened in Edinburgh, and it's still going on at this point. How very nice of them to put a festival with an Oasis concert. It's a 2-for-1 deal there. Very nice. Obviously my bins don't get taken out because there's so much garbage on there, but another point there. But that connection between theatre and wrestling, obviously, if you look at something very soap opera like EastEnders or Coronation Street, they have those hooks and long-term stories that you can always look back to. But with the Fringe, it's been something I've been fascinated by, is how people connect with that. And obviously, there are a few wrestling events going on within Edinburgh that are associated with the Fringe. I think of one of the wrestling podcasters at Cultaholic called Tegan, who's doing a show called Chokeslam. I know Molly Spartan and Daisy Jenkins are a part of Mythos Ragnarok, which is going on in the Meadows with the Underbelly. For yourself, Ray, what is it you think about this connection between wrestling and performance arts, that is theatre?
I generally think that like it's so hard to like explain. Like, say if you speak to like a theatre person, it's all about theatre, about like wrestling, until they see storylines that they don't get. they don't really understand, like, it's almost the same, but with like lots of different little quirks. And I think a lot of people that like go to the theatre and do this, if they were to come to like a live wrestling show, even though they don't think it's their cup of tea, they'd probably be pleasantly surprised and really enjoy it. I know for a fact my mum, since obviously I've started wrestling, and we were obviously went there with my mum, but since I've started wrestling, she's came, she's like, I actually really enjoy it, minus the fact that I think I'm going to have to get in that ring and swing those boys about for hitting you. I'm just like, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the game, mother.
Oh, mothers. Very protective. One of the most deadly things out there besides cheetahs, sharks, and English people, because deadly. I mean, it's the joys of it, you know. That's the thing with wrestling, is that it can bring out that connectivity, as we've talked about earlier. I do also want to touch upon more of the Fringe, because it is such a unique show, and I've actually decided to leave this studio for once and actually venture out and enjoy it. And I very much enjoyed it, even if the prices of food and drink are a bit too fucking high for my bank account. That is not something I like. I very much hate that. But it is still a fun festival. And I never spoke to Wolfgang, and I know ICW ran events at the Fringe in the past, but do you think there could be a regular appearance of a promotion at a Fringe show in the future?
I think, yeah, definitely in the future, the way, like, seeing it now, like, because there's already so many more than what there was, well, like 5-6 years ago at the Fringe, like, all back when the Fringe was obviously thing, it was all like musical theatre, it was like stand-up comedy, it was like live bands, live singing, all this, it was all very, very like performance art that's very mainstream that everyone knows about when they think about the arts. And obviously wrestling was, I'd say, is more underground. It's like an art, like a theatre art type thing. So the fact that we've got more going on this year and venues are more willing to like show it is like a big step forward. And I do think there could be like, I think there could be a market to do like a full Fringe like run of like doing multiple storylines and get people, especially like locals, coming more than once to see where it's going. Be quite interesting.
Very nice. I mean, all you could have is just the ref pull out a to be continued sign with a QR code, get the tickets for the next again day. You're making bank. You're making bank, good money. And I like to see that. Money is good. Money is powerful. Money allows me to do things, and I like to do things. Obviously, we've touched upon storylines, and, you know, a particular big storyline this year was John Cena as the bad guy. Mr. Heel, Mr. I hate everyone, I'm going to ruin wrestling. And, you know, some people have described the storyline as the best way you can describe it. It's like, it was like a lap dance. You know, you get a lap dance from a lovely lass, and you think, this is going well, this is going well. And before she does the slut drop, she then does the Macarena. And you're like, where have we gone? Hold on here. Back up. This was going somewhere. Now it's gone in a completely different direction and genre in relation to his face turn. Now he's a good guy going against Brock Lesnar in the future. Right. Ray, what's your thoughts on this John Cena heel storyline? Do you think it was good, or do you think it was a wet fart?
I quite liked heel John Cena, but I think it's because I despise John Cena growing up. I really did not like that man. Like, for me, it was too force fed. And it was always like, it was all very predictable, and I didn't really like that aspect of it. So I enjoyed the heel turn, and the fact that he's back faces. I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to see him go out as a heel. Like, apart from that, I wanted him to retire almost heely. Just, why not? Just ruin it for us all.
Yeah, well, sadly not. You know, we had Travis Scott show up in Vegas to cost Cody, and that never had a resolution. The Rock is probably filming Moana 6 at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think it could have reached good heights, but they killed it a bit too early? Maybe. What's your thoughts on the lost potential with this heel run?
I think that it had potential to go a bit further. Like, I do think that, like, I'm happy that Cody got the belt back and things, like, it is what it is. But I do think they could have like prolonged it a bit more, and just like you said, like, just kept it going for a bit longer before they cut it short. Because now I'm like, we've kind of seen Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Like, they're two people that I don't really find, I don't see the appeal for me personally. I just think that when Brock was Universal Champion, it became very stale. John Cena always winning became stale. And I'm hoping that in this new era with like Triple H, I can be proved wrong. But it's not a match that I'm like, oh, I better tune in to see what's happening. It's not grabbing my attention yet. Unless it's Cowboy Brock Lesnar, then maybe, because I enjoyed that. But other than that, I don't know. I'm not overly fond.
Ah, yes. If we see Brock Lesnar coming out to that Beyonce cowboy song, then we know we've hit the apocalypse time.
Exactly.
Because that's
Perfect.
Shivers up my spine there. Hold on, get back into composure. But obviously, a lot of people are kind of not going with this. You know, a lot of people obviously wanted to see other stars. People wanted to see Brock Lesnar, but then there's obviously a portion that don't. And obviously, one individual a lot of people wanted to see on the WWE programming was a gentleman by the name of Karrion Kross. And obviously, now Kross has stated that he's no longer with the company through his Part 2 killer documentary on his YouTube channel. Kross is done. No longer with the WWE. He's taking independent bookings. The We Want Kross hashtag trended for a day on Twitter, as most hashtags do. Your thoughts on the situation around Kross, his contract, leaving, the fans not being listened to? Your thoughts on the whole situation?
I think it's a shame, because I really do think he's one of the people that's like lost potential. I thought he could have been a really good star, and he had like all the potential and all the makings to it. The crowd were behind him. I really enjoyed what he was doing. I really enjoyed like what he was doing, even though I felt like you could kind of tell that he was like trying a lot to just do to like get the screen time, and that was a bit sad, because I do think in NXT when they first arrived, like it was like magic. It was great. Like it was really, really good. And then it got like put on the main roster and kind of just got lost in the shuffle. But then this starting like the last feud and that, like what he's been doing before the release, I was really like intrigued with him. It's like, where's this going to go? And it went out the door pretty much, quite literally, with him in his bags.
The nature of wrestling is, is that there's only so much TV time, but you have so much talent, and you have to delegate who gets what. And it's the nature of the beast. Is that there will be opportunities for people, there won't be, and it's who gets what. The share package you can get from it, it's vulture like, and you never know what the future holds for one individual. Some people want to see Kross do a killer indie run. Some people want to see him in TNA, then hopefully come back to WWE. Some people want him in AEW or Japan. And there are so many ventures within wrestling as well. And obviously, Ray, let's get into your story, the main meat and potatoes of the story. As I say, once a fan, but you'd be the fan that would take the extra step to getting into the square circle itself, obviously through good old PWR Pro. I want to know that story. How did PWR Pro come into your life?
I mean, this is like, I don't know, like I've always wanted to do training since I was like 16. I've always looked to do it just because I loved watching it, and I was like, I thought like, I was like, I think I could do this. I do theatre. This is just like more physicality, be a good way to keep fit. My mother said no, because back then you obviously had to get parental signatures, and my mom was like, no, you're gonna get hurt. Like you can't do that. And I was like, all right, okay. So now I was just like waiting, and I'm like at my point in my life, I was just like, it was really weird. I was like thinking about leaving a job. I just was like thinking about basically like, it was almost like a reset. Like a reset happened like a year and a half ago. I was like, what can I do? Like what do I want to do in my life? And I always, on my bucket list, I've always said I want to wrestle one match. Like I don't care how I just want to do at least one match. So then I just went on on the web and was like wrestling schools near me, and then just kind of looked about and seen what one kind of like took my fancy, like doing things, and PWR Pro just like stood out to me. Like when I read like what the company was about and the values and that, I was like, oh, this seems like a place where I could be and that I could thrive in. And then they were opening the Livingston School, which was closer to me, so I was like, perfect. And then I was like, right, I'll just wait till that opens. I forgot about it for a bit. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping to join it as soon as it opened, but I forgot because life just gets in the way. And then as soon as I like remembered, I went, oh my god, yeah, like it was like New Year. And I was like, ha, New Year, new me. Like, let's just be stereotypical. What can I do? Oh, I'll just join the wrestling school. So joined the wrestling school, and then I think I started about like February, and then ever since then just been like, right, okay, I've got the bug. Great, perfect, love that.
Hey, good on you, son. The bug is there. You've been bitten, and the passion virus is flowing through you and ready to go. And I like to see that. Very good there. Obviously, PWR Pro, the big honcho, the big man himself, Andy Roberts, head coach and trainer, leads the whole, machine, shall we say. He leads the whole thing, and he obviously has that great Instagram channel of his Andy Roberts Training, which is, obviously a platform that showcases training styles, hold moves. For yourself, how's it been to learn under Andy and through his Instagram page as well?
It's so wild. It's actually amazing. Growing up, obviously, because when I started watching wrestling, I didn't know a lot of local talent, and I didn't really go to the local shows or anything like that. To be fair, I've not actually been to a WWE show. I just kind of it's just something I've always enjoyed. So I always seen the posters, and I just never got the tickets. But meeting Andy, and he's so patient. He just kind of he gets to know you as a person, and your how you learn and how you train, and it just makes it so much easier. Learning things from someone that is actually paying attention to how you learn and what you pick up on, and ways to explain things so that everyone understands, and it's simplified, while then also being able to advance it. And the videos, that Instagram channel's amazing, because it's things that you go over in class, but you obviously go over so much in a month, say, and then but you can always kind of go back and then rewatch them, and just to constantly keep learning, because you can never stop learning the basics and make yourself 1% better than what he says. So I think it's almost like a revision tool. This is what you've learned in class. You can go back, revisit it from literally what he said, and you don't need to try and think, oh, what was that little point he said to make you 1% better. There's literally a full Instagram for it. So I think it's literally revision and homework. It's great.
Oh, we do love some homework. Just don't leave it last minute. I've experienced that. Bad times. Never leave it last minute. Obviously, we did mention, though, Ray, you are criminally gorgeous. You're criminally gorgeous. You are very gorgeous. I mean, I think my graphics card right here is actually going off the charts right now with how gorgeous things are going on right here. So I've got to be careful of that. Got to be careful. But there's obviously many other people in PWR Pro, and I want to know, is there anyone else that you think is criminally gorgeous, or are you just the one and only?
I mean, there's some that I think that are they're not quite at my level of criminally gorgeous, but they're not bad. They'll do. If I wasn't there, then they're probably the second, third best option that you're going to get. I think a few names come to my head are Zachary Swift, Modern Gentleman, and obviously the Purple Champ just now, Tommy Cartel. I think the Heartbreaker and Modern Gentleman. I think we've got a little good thing going on there.
Hey, good partnerships all around. We like those. It builds connections, fun, accolades. We like all that. But I mean, is there anyone that you think of right now on that roster that they could get to that level of gorgeous if they maybe change one thing, a pair of clothing, a bit of makeup, eyeliner, mouthwash? I don't know. I don't know what goes into gorgeous style. Look at me right now. I'm not in the best state to comment on that. I want to know, is there anyone there you would like to help them get to that level of gorgeousness?
I feel like I think I should do a master class. It should be one of those things that if Andy's not available and needs someone to take a class, and maybe I could help do it that way, because I don't think there's just one or two that need to help. And maybe at least 95% of the roster could do with a little touch up, a little glow up, a little bit self tan, a little bit moisturizer, a little bit just for men to cover the greys, There's just little things that they could do to just stand out a bit more.
Well, hey, obviously we know PWR Pro hold shows in Truth nightclub most of the time. I mean, I'm saying it right now, Ray Calix boutique booth. You go in there, one of the booths at the back, you sit there, you have them on, you get them beautied up, ready for their match. I mean, if they ruin the makeup, anything in the ring, that's on them. You reimburse them and you get your money back. I'm just saying, there's profit there, man. And you want to make a profit, but also showcase the style of being criminally gorgeous. I think you've got something on here, mate. That's going to work absolutely well for you. Obviously, though, PWR Pro do have a big show coming up in that very nightclub, as I just mentioned, Truth or Dare Free. Obviously, the stipulation is, you don't know who's going to go into what. You have the Truth or the Dare. People can match up into anything from a TLC match to a championship match to a last stand mandate. Anything can happen. And I want to know, Ray, is there any particular matchups you would like to see or be a part of?
There's one match that I think that I would like to be a part of. That would be if the wheel was to spin and it was Dare. I think a Beauty versus Braun match would be quite iconic. I think not your typical no holds barred match, Beauty versus Braun, with obviously me being the Beauty, and we need to find the Braun. There's quite a few though that we could choose from.
Very true. Quite a few brawny types there. I mean, we'll let those brawny types wander in the wind and not give them the element of surprise, because we don't want to make a possibility become reality and then they're prepared. We have to let them be in disbelief, and you get the lead. You are the showcase right now. You are the main man. You're going to get that showcase. You're going to get an amazing element, and I would like to see it. But obviously, we've mentioned Tommy Cartel is the champion. He has a lovely belt. The belt looks very nice. But I'm a big sucker for custom championships. John Cena's spinner, Cody Rhodes putting his lovely American side plates on it, or Tiffany Stratton for amazing, Money in the Bank briefcase. I love personality and adding your element to your title or accolades. Ray, if you won the Power Pro Championship, how would you put your own little style on it?
I mean, it is a shiny title, but it could be a bit shinier. We could have mirrors on it, so I didn't have to carry one around with me to look at myself. It could literally just be my walking mirror. I could use it to blind people with the spotlight that will be on me. There's glitter. We love glitter. A little bit sparkle, a little bit rhinestone. Just want to make it stand out the way that I plan on standing out.
Fair point. Fair point indeed. I mean, the sun right now is glaring right into my retina, so I think if you did have that belt, you'd be able to blind your opponents and get a good win there. So very tactical but stylish. I like it. Two good words there. Obviously, though, with Power Pro, they do like to bring in some international stars for seminars or even sometimes great matches. I know Wolfgang is coming to Power Pro as well. For Triple Dare 3, he's put his name into the ballot. We've seen previous individuals like Niwa, Mark Andrews. For yourself, Ray, is there any particular individual you would love to see enter the world of Power Pro?
That's like such a good question, because there's so many people that you literally could think of, like especially people that you think, I think someone that like I would love to see come, like even if it was just teach a seminar or like just have a match, even though I know for a fact it would never happen, because I don't think they just don't. I don't think they're really in the business anymore. Would be like Eve Torres. I love Eve Torres. Like I just like the jiu-jitsu, and I just think you could like everyone could learn a lot, especially like the way that she does her jiu-jitsu for like women and self-defense. I just think what she's done since leaving WWE is like insane.
Well, that would be quite an insight to have there, and I think especially so insightful for the wrestlers as well to get that knowledge from somebody who's done so many things within the WWE and that history. It's going to be a great amount of knowledge to gather there, and I think you will use it to a truly gorgeous advantage there, my friend. But you know what, Ray? We're coming to the end of our time here in the Soul Sessions. I know you're a very busy individual, always got to look glamorous and help the other people be educated in glamour. So, we won't keep you too long, but, let's wrap up with one final question, my friend. You mentioned theater earlier, and theater is an amazing art form in itself. But I would love to know for yourself, theater productions, you think of, New York, London, great stories like Phantom of the Opera, Cats, Book of Mormon, so many great shows, even Wicked. If they have to make it 2 parts into a movie because more money, fine, cool, I don't mind that. But I want to know, if you could translate a theater production storyline into wrestling, which one would it be and why?
Oh, that's such a good question. Now I'm just like racking my brain, because I'm like, basically what's going through my head is, who would I play and what part would I have and how do I make myself the lead? If I'm casting it, I'm the lead. Like that's just simple. What one would be really good as a wrestling story? I don't know why, but in my head it just keeps going to Carrie the musical. And I have no idea why. Like, it's just like, that's the one that's like blinking off in my head. And I don't know if it's because it's like the outsider that then just like pretty much then just destroys everyone. Like someone, like, I know it's like the supernatural elements could be a bit interesting to see how they would do that. We've seen it done in WWE. Like, it would be quite funny and interesting to try and see that live, like on a live show.
Right, you're making the mind working now. I'm thinking Alexa Bliss's Carrie. I mean, that would work. That could be very interesting. I mean, but we can't give too many details away because we don't want somebody else stealing this idea. This could be a moneymaker right now. We need the money in our pockets. My beer machine is nearly empty. I need some income. Please, I need to get my suit ready to come back because I can't look like this again. I have to look professional. Too much Oasis this weekend has really done me in. But you know what, Ray? You're a good lad, and I appreciate you coming here on the Soul Session. And of course, folks, if you love what you've heard from Ray himself, his Instagram link will be down below. You can click it, follow him, see his journey of being absolutely gorgeous. And of course, as well, PWR Pro, Truth or Dare Free, Truth Nightclub. I'll put a link down below as well to get tickets and see the action yourself. Support some independent wrestling. We always love it. Well, as I say, as a good Scotsman, folks, finish up your pints. I can't because my stomach is too sore. Ow. And put your chair away. And thank you as always for tuning in for another episode of the Soul Sessions.
Now I'm out the human too. Gonna live like animals do. No more laws and no more rules. No more body, no more rules.